On double secret probation with us, St. Louis Post-Dispatch columnist, joins the Sports Guys, and he's with us every Monday. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
Good. We'll get to your double secret probation in just a moment.
Am I in trouble or something?
Yes, you are in trouble. You have the wrong opinion, so we'll get to that in a second. You're thinking wrong again, and I need to correct you.
Okay. Well, all right.
But let's talk about the first three games. I've had a number of fans come up to me and complain not about the relief or not about what, but the umpires, and they're squeezing the strike zone.
Yeah, the one yesterday was bizarre.
Terrible.
I think Derek Gould described it great in today's paper when he called it amoeba-like, which is kind of shape-shifting. I think Dexter Fowler would be a great person to ask about that. But, yeah, these guys aren't giving themselves they're a little rusty to start the season, like some of the players are a little bit. So I guess maybe the Major League umps need to get some more spring training games or something. But, yeah, some of them have been a little off. And I try to defend the umps usually. I like the human element in games.
Right.
I'm not a fan of the robot umpires. But then you run across a game like C.B. Buckner the other day, and you have a hard time. You have a hard time defending him when folks say it should be computerized.
Well, and it's a 5-1 game. It takes 3 hours and 15 minutes. Visiting the mound isn't what's causing the 3 hour and 15-minute game. It's the umpire not calling strikes.
Well, yeah, that, and also the commercials, and the fact that the ball flies out of the park easier than ever before, but Major League Baseball doesn't care much about that.
Right.
And offense creates for longer games. So, yeah, the mound visits, I don't think are the reason the games are going 3+ hours, but they never have been. I mean, this whole thing is a farce. But yeah, getting some sort of strike zone that is not even like, the strike zone is going to change a little bit. Depending on the umpire, depending on the game, that you get that, but it shouldn't change depending on the inning.
Right.
That's
or the pitch. Yeah.
Get.
No.
Right.
All right. Now, with that being said, how worried should we be that Michael Ozuna can't throw the ball from left field?
All right. So Marcel he was a little held up during spring training because of some soreness in the arm, and it didn't seem like a huge deal. But when you see Tommy Pham jump in front of him, catch a ball that he really had no business catching, and then make an off-balance throw because he ranged so far, it makes you wonder about it. You felt probably a little less worried about it after you saw him hit yesterday,
right?
Where he has 3 hits and looks like the kind of guy that the Cardinals expect him to be. So that's going to be something to monitor. But as long as he can swing and feel comfortable and not hurt himself doing that, then he's going to be in the lineup, I think. It's not to the point where they once had Randall Grichuk in center field tossing underhand to a teammate who threw for him. I don't think we're going to see that if it gets to that point. But I think this should be getting better, not worse, as something that he showed up to spring training with some tenderness there. So something to monitor, but a good sign that he's swinging as well as he is now.
All right. And, the sky's not falling. Oh, they're 1-2, and they played 3 games. So let's stop the panic out there before people start freaking out.
Context is important. They played 2 great pitchers in those first 2 games, and I think everybody's a little cognizant and worried about. There were kind of some flashbacks of 3 and 9, and I get that. That start the Cardinals had last year was one of the reasons they didn't make the postseason. They rebounded from it, but it took a long time to dig themselves out of that hole. So you'd like to see them, take some steam into Milwaukee. One thing to watch in Milwaukee is Marcell Ozuna is just an outstanding hitter at Miller Park. Some guys really like hitting there. A lot of guys do. The batter's eye really helps you see the ball well, but he has the best slugging percentage at that stadium of anybody except for Paul Goldschmidt since 2014, and he always hits home runs there. So that should be something to watch in this series that starts today.
However, does he like hitting there, or does he like hitting against Milwaukee's pitchers more?
Well, he doesn't hit as well against them when he's playing them not there.
Okay,
so
all right.
It's a combination of both. Now, a lot of guys, you'll talk to guys who are struggling at the plate, and they like going to Milwaukee. It is a hitter's park. They see the ball really well because the backdrop is, a batter's eye in the stadium. But Marcell takes it to another level. He's hit more home runs at Miller Park than he has at any other stadium other than Marlins Park, which he used to call his home. So he's hit 9 there. and he's only hit 6, total of 6
Right.
anywhere else other than Marlins Park. So he likes it there.
Well, that's good because the Cardinals play the Brewers at least 85 times in a given year, so that's always good. It always seems like they're always playing the Brewers.
6 times, but he goes there 10 times this year, so that should help him out.
All right, now Ben Frederickson, here's why you're on double secret probation. Did I read in your column at stltoday.com where you are a fan of, or at least open to the idea of the National League embracing the designated hitter?
You did. That is correct. That is not fake news.
Okay, what is going on?
Okay, here's my deal, and it's not so much as being a fan of the DH as much as it is a fan of sanity. You can't have 2 different leagues in the same game that play by such different rules. If you want to get rid of the DH, I'm cool with that too. But you got to have the American League and the National League playing by the same set of rules. This is like I was trying to explain it to somebody the other day in an email, because every time I write about this, I just get flooded with emails from people like you who are just irate and don't actually listen to my point. They just hear pro DH and they go nuts.
Right.
But what I'm saying was this is like having, the NBA where one division plays with 6 fouls and one division plays with 5. Or one division has a 3-point shot and the other doesn't. But they're all playing for the same championship. So how can you have such different rules for teams that are competing for the same prize? I'm actually stunned that it has gone on as long as it has. So that's the reason I'm for it, because it's never going to go back, because no one likes watching pitchers attempt to hit, and it creates more jobs for aging players. So the players union is for it. So if that's the case, then just go ahead and bring it on. It's going to happen eventually anyway. Just go ahead and bring it on, and that way you have divisions and leagues playing by the same set of rules. Now, this does not go down the wormhole of putting runners on second base and all the other crazy things that Rob Manfred wants to do. This has already happened. It's been around for a long time. Just put it in and then stop it there.
Well,
that's my request.
Okay. Well, but the end of the world's coming too, so let's just get it over with and end it today.
You can make that case.
I agree with you.
It's snowing on Easter, for God's sake.
I actually that makes a lot more sense, or I at least understand where you're coming from. Valid arguments. And in the World Series, it sort of rears its ugly head because the American League, I think, has the benefit of the doubt because the National League team doesn't have that extra bat for the designated hitter, and so it has some issues there. But that's why it's gone on for as long, is because the National League fans don't want to watch a game without a three-pointer, right, or with a three-pointer. They want to watch. You're going to change the complete structure of the game National League fans have enjoyed watching for centuries.
And I get that. And I understand that, having the pitcher hit, it creates, a level of gamesmanship, and it gives managers something to do other than fill out their lineup card. And I get that. And that's, again, why it's not so much for me that I love the DH. It's more of that they should have the same rules. And personally, it's a personal thing with me. Other than Adam Wainwright, who actually cares about hitting, I don't really like watching pitchers go up there and watch 3 strikes. I think with Cardinals fans, it's funny, especially this season, they might actually gain a more appreciation for the DH because that would be Jose Martinez. He would be in the lineup every day, and he wouldn't have to play first base, where he's a little bit of a risk factor of airmailing a throw into left field once in a while. So when you watch Jose Martinez, here's my request, my humble request to Cardinals fans. This year, when you watch Jose Martinez hit really well, and you watch him maybe have an occasional struggle defensively, or there are games where he doesn't get to play, and you're going, man, I wish Jose Martinez was in the lineup today. Think about if he was your DH, and think if that maybe makes you change your mind. That is my humble request, and I understand that many people will say, we thought about it, we don't care, you're an idiot. I get that. You can send me an email. It won't be the first.
All right.
But that's my humble request. For this season, just think, what if? What if Jose Martinez was your designated hitter?
All right. You're at least on single probation, not double secret probation. You're on single secret probation. Ben, have a good week. Thanks for checking in.